Time for news you need. News you need is a look at current events and how they affect the college community and beyond. And now here's the host of News You Need, Dr. Ed Simpson.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to yet another exciting edition of News You Need. This is the show where we talk to the best human beings in the whole world, which is our USM students. And why are we here? Well, this is the show where we talk about what's in the news, the issues that are confronting us as a society. And the reason we care is that as citizens, we need to make decisions. And the only way to make those decisions is to know what is happening, the issues that we are facing, and the single best way to do that in the entire world is to read the news. So that's why we gather once a week and talk about things like K-pop demon hunters, Dr. Hale, and all kinds of other things. So let's do this. We got another great group today. So if we could, let's go around, introduce ourselves, maybe where you're from, what your major is, that kind of stuff. But first, a word or two from our co-host, Dr. Hale. Take it away.
So I'm back. I don't know why I'm being singled out in this way about K-pop demon hunters, because I mentioned that I watched the film three times. And I just want to say that I do, in fact, read the news periodically.
Yep, that's great. Love that.
You're more than just K-pop demon
In between viewings of K-pop demon hunters, you occasionally pick up the New York Times. Love it. You're up, sir.
Yeah,
yes.
Cool. Hey, y'all. I'm Noah Williamson. I am currently the president of our Golden Eagles Conservation Society, which is focused on just being like this community-oriented environmental action group. So far, what we've done is this semester alone, we've collected waste glass, donated it to a local organization that takes that glass, turns it into recycled into new glass, but also helps contribute to turning it into glass sand, which is used to restore eroding coastlines along Louisiana. That's good. That's something I would like to get going pretty consistently here. And we've worked with just doing up local cleanups. So our goal is just being, making the environment a better place, being better stewards of our environment.
That's great. Absolutely. We're going to come back to that in a minute.
Hi, my name is Lily. I've been on this show a few times before. Me and Annabella are producers together. Really, we get people for the show and make graphics and stuff. I am a sophomore digital journalism major with a certificate in apparel construction and design.
Which is awesome.
That is awesome.
And I don't have a lot of outside, I'm not in a lot of clubs or anything.
Okay, well, you're here. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Annabella. Like Lily just said, we are producers together at News You Need. And I'm also the Undersecretary of Photography for the Student Government Association. So that's fun.
There you go. Have you taken any pictures yet?
Yeah, we had a photo shoot I think last weekend. Just like some stock photos to use on Instagram when we need. And then next weekend, we have our first sort of big SGA-wide event, which is Camp SGA. It's like a big fun retreat. And so I'm taking photos for that.
Wow, okay.
And also participating. I'm very excited.
And you can play K-pop demon hunters.
My name's Carmen Byerly Dunn. I am a PhD candidate in polymer science and engineering, and I'm currently serving as the president of Women in Science and Engineering, also known as WISE. And I'm involved in the Evelyn Gandy Center for Women in Leadership. So kind of the gist of what we're striving for right now is kind of the conjunction of the organizations that I'm involved in is geared towards elevating representation of women in STEM careers, be that biology, be that forensics, be it polymer science or engineering disciplines, computer science, you name it. Just allowing women opportunities to pursue their passions in what's typically a male-dominated field.
Love it. And I love the fact that we have one of our doctoral candidates on. We rarely do that, and I think good job, producers. The more of them, the better. I love that, so we can hear from that. So let's go back to our student groups here. So Eagle Conservation Club. What's it called?
Golden Eagles Conservation Society.
It's a conservation. How long has it been around?
That's a good question. I know it's been going on for at least 10 years because our current faculty advisor, Dr. Cooper Campbell, was in it when he was an undergraduate here. So
that is cool.
Yeah,
okay.
we've stuck around for a minute. I'm working on trying to revitalize, get some projects going to make our impact a bit more tangible.
So that's one of my things with student groups. they need revitalized more than every so often, right? When you think about student groups, you literally have a whole new population every 3-4 years. So that absolutely needs revitalized. So I appreciate your service. I think that's great. And so you're picking up or collecting glass. Are you doing anything else?
Yeah. So like I said, we do cleanups. Usually we would do like cleanups hosted specifically by our group, but this semester and a little bit of last semester, we partnered with Pine Belt Blueways and the Piney Woods Conservation Group, which does like larger cleanups.
Okay.
And so tomorrow we're doing a cleanup with Pearl River Keeper, which is a larger local conservation group that is doing several cleanups along the Pearl River.
That's
so tomorrow
great.
we're going to go out to Red Bluff and clean up.
So when you say cleanup, you literally mean going along the river and picking up trash.
Yeah.
Okay. And our students are doing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
And then towards the end of the semester, we'll do a Black Creek cleanup. And another one of those projects you mentioned we got going on right now is we're working on fixing up the educational garden outside of Walker Science Building.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Look at that. I
I'm
love
in
all
a
that.
group meet for Gex.
Yeah.
When is that? I would love to help with the
Which one?
community garden.
The community garden? Yes, I think the Horticulture Club just decided on a date for it. It should be the 26th, but I'll send those emails out to the group, or the group meet this afternoon.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay, so women in STEM. So what do you got any stats for us? Because here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm saying. There aren't very many.
Right. Yeah. So we're pretty limited, just in terms of I know kind of my experiences as an undergraduate. I went to a university where it was around 75% men.
Yeah.
Which is pretty astounding.
And mostly white men.
Yes. But I think like we have a really good thing going right now with WISE. So on Eagle Hub, I think we have around 170 members.
Wow.
Across.
That's great.
Yeah. So we've done things like host conferences and discuss like career pathways, getting interview skills for those like more intensive like skills focused interviews, as well as being able to talk about your science in an open and free way.
Yeah.
And starting that dialogue.
So so STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And I thought we didn't believe in science anymore. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
What are you doing? We don't like, Dr. Hale, we don't like science around here, do we?
I personally decided that I hate it.
Science is terrible.
As in like my research, what I'm working on?
Or just as a society,
Oh,
talk to
dear.
us. Make the case for science.
Make the case for science. I think science can do a lot of great things and solve a lot of problems. And I think it takes time and takes energy for us to be able to kind of critically think about the world around us. But I think the importance of academic laboratories, national laboratories, those institutions are in place so that we can figure out what our next steps are going to look like. Like, you never know what the world's going to look like in the next 50 years. And science and engineering, those are pathways for us to actually get there.
Absolutely. Let me lend my voice to that, right? This idea that science is a form of poetry. We don't know where it's going to take us. We don't know what it means at the time that we are doing it, but it can live forever. It can change the world. Right.
And data is so frustrating sometimes. I mean, I'm a graduate student. That's all I do at this point.
We also hate data, I believe, Dr. Hill.
I hate data.
Data's just terrible, terrible, terrible,
I'm
terrible.
fine with science and data, but the math not so much.
Yeah.
So just stay.
Just kidding.
I will say that the beauty of science is that when you're really executing on the scientific method and exploring these things, is you find stuff you never would have expected. When you look around you at the technology that's literally bringing my voice to your ear or two right now, it's because of the advancements of science and technology.
Exactly
Okay,
right.
we have to go to
Speaking of
break.
which, we're going to take a break, and we may or may not pick up with science, or K-pop demon hunters on the other side.
People do it everywhere.
In the kitchen,
In the bedroom, yes, even the park.
When it comes to your health,
there is no wrong place or time.
To get an HIV test.
knowing your HIV status allows you to live your life.
And stay healthy.
So pick a spot.
Make HIV testing a part of your routine.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
And be glad you did.
I'm Jamie Presley.
Jay Ellis.
I'm Ray Santiago.
I'm Terrence J.
And I'm acting
against AIDS.
Visit cdc.gov/doing it.
Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277. And the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Okay, and I believe our engineer is waving her hand in the booth. We are back. And as usual, we talked through the break a little bit, and we have some folks who have not seen K-pop Demon Hunters. So for our one listener who's probably still with us.
It's my mom again. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Last show, I accused Dr. Hale of hurting society by watching K-pop Demon Hunters. But then that evening, I went home and watched it, and it was absolutely charming. I loved it. I watched the whole thing straight through. I will say this. It took me 7 different instances to watch the Taylor Swift Eras concert.
You watched that?
I did watch it.
I haven't watched that.
But it took me a long time because every song sounded the same. That's just me.
That's the most controversial thing that's
Okay.
ever been said on this show.
I know.
Yeah, that was
It's
genuinely
close.
controversial.
It's close.
To get
It's
us.
close.
I
Well,
didn't
it's
know
been
we could say
nice
stuff
being
like
on the
that.
air. I'll see you all later.
Yeah, the Swifties are getting their torches even as we speak. Okay, guys, so what is going on in your world? What's news to our students this week? What's going on?
The student on Delta State campus.
Yes, let's talk about that. So what we're talking about here is there was a young man found hanging from a tree in the middle of Delta State campus, and there was also one found in the second one.
I can't remember where the
Vicksburg.
Vicksburg.
Vicksburg. Now they did. Now, number one, are our students following this
Yes.
story?
Very
Yes.
close.
Oh,
Yes.
everybody's nodding their head, right? And they did announce this morning, I believe, that the coroner says it was a suicide.
Yes.
Yes.
And how do our students feel, number one, about this whole incident and where it's headed?
I think our students, like a lot of people, are not buying that it was just a suicide.
No, not at all. There's even a vigil tomorrow night here on campus.
Is there?
Yeah,
Yes.
tomorrow at the fountain.
At 7.
I'll be working. I'll be waiting tables, so I won't be able to go. But I wish that I could. I believe that he was a family member of someone that goes to school here. I don't know. It's just the most heartbreaking thing. And when someone is found, specifically a black person hanging from a tree in the middle of campus, it doesn't feel like a suicide. It doesn't. It's so public. It's so.
Yeah.
It's not. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were going to say something?
No, it's just like so much of things like this kind of leave me disheartened because I don't understand how people just kind of just are able to like be a bystander for a lot of stuff like this. It's been happening everywhere, right? And that's not to detract from the seriousness of this, but just recently being someone who cares about the environment, who cares about like other people, being empathetic is really really disheartening at the moment. And you see stuff like this happen, and it's just,
And people don't care. So Charlie Kirk, he got everything. He got just completely treated like a saint, washed of everything he'd ever done. Washed of everything that he'd ever done. And then this man, 2 men are killed, and it's forgotten. It's brushed under the rug. Students are talking about it. Young people are talking about it. People on social media are talking about it. But news outlets, big thing. It's not big. It's not nearly as big as, Charlie Kirk. And I find that really disgusting.
Yeah, so there's a lot to unpack here. And I may ask Dr. Hale and our resident scientist to weigh in here, because this is a difficult thing, right? Because an autopsy is a scientific procedure at the end of the day. The coroner has ruled it a suicide. Our students, excuse me, it sounds like our students are not believing that. The question should be, should they?
Well, while a police investigation is ongoing, you can't just start jumping to conclusions is the main thing. We have to wait. We have to see what comes out of that. It's possible that the coroner could be incorrect, but it's also more likely that the coroner is correct. At the end of the day, someone's dead, and that's what's unfortunate. And I will say, as someone who works at a university that's working with young people on a daily basis and talking to them about their futures and stuff, it's really, really, really hard to hear about someone who's lost their life. However, it was assume it's suicide. If it was the case, that's genuinely very difficult, and it's not the first time that's happened. It's not the first time it's happened in my own orbit, and that is just it's always hard, always hard.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree definitely. Just in terms of whatever the issue may be that's like led to the events that have happened, it's like there are a few things that we need to take seriously. One is violence at universities, and two being mental health of students at universities. And I think kind of critically examining how we kind of fit into these pieces and being able to evaluate next steps forward is going to be a big deal. But in terms of the coroner's ruling, I mean, science, from a science perspective, it's not all our perception of science and our perception of data and this, that, and the other is not always going to be perfect. I can't personally attest to anything that might have been ruled on outside of my field of expertise, but the only thing I think that we can really do is try and learn from what's happened and do our best to improve.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go.
I just saw that the family of, I believe his name was Trey Reed, is calling for an independent
Correct.
Coroner's report. They want someone else because the person who originally did his autopsy was state sanctioned.
Correct.
And they immediately had already labeled it a suicide before the coroner's report had come out.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing I think we need to unpack as a society here, right? Is that Mississippi has a very long, ugly history of racial violence, lynchings, number one, right? Emmett Till, the Emmett Till case, which is credited with starting, or at least firing up the civil rights movement. Mississippi came out of Money, Mississippi.
Whose sign still gets shot up every day.
That is correct.
Just to illustrate another point about the violence in white people in Mississippi.
Yeah, that's right. So there is when you have a long history, a baggage of racial violence, and something this symbolic happens, I will say this: my first reaction was, "Boy, that was quick." I'm not sure I've ever seen an autopsy done that quickly with that definitive a ruling. Now, when you get back to the science, I've done enough reporting on this kind of stuff that there's no way you can get the toxicology back in 24 hours. So you don't know.
I didn't think about that.
You can't.
They literally said that. I read the article this morning.
Yeah, you can't. So without the toxicology, the autopsy is not complete.
No. So I don't understand how it's ruled.
I think what's interesting to me is that they ruled out foul play almost as soon as they found the body, which is already kind of like what. But I think the thing to me is that there is no harm in questioning a police ruling, especially in a case like this. I feel like it has to be questioned. The moment you stop questioning law enforcement and taking part in that and wondering, like, is this right? That's when they're free to do whatever they want.
Yeah, and I'm hesitant to look back at the scientific aspect of it. I was going to be like, well, skepticism of science is how we move forward, but in a sense where you have such skepticism about medical science, like with vaccine uncertainty, that is that's something I don't want to fully assign myself to. But I think that looking at the power dynamics of it in context of what has happened, then maybe that skepticism is a little bit more justified when you understand it from the perspective of how the power dynamics work, how they've historically worked, especially in our state, compared to just blanket being question science. Because question it, but not to the extent that it leads to other people losing their lives.
Well, and this has been my argument for years, right? Is that in a law enforcement context, an autopsy is basically the first author on a report, but science is built on peer review.
Yeah.
So explain to us, give us the 37 seconds on peer review.
Peer review process. So whenever you submit any findings that you have for a journal, so to graduate, you have X amount of time to get out, write some papers, submit them to a journal. The editor will assign them to a reviewer. The reviewer will write comments saying, this, that, and the other, trying to pull apart every aspect of what you've done, and they'll come back, and then you'll come back and kind of edit through that in order to actually get your work published. It has to go through people. People have to read it, and people have to be able to justify what you've given them.
Yep, and people in that field, knowledgeable
Yes.
in that field, theoretically. So I think the idea of questioning authority, questioning law enforcement, certainly highly important, right? So is there anything else that our students are talking about? That hanging case is very emotional, I know, for us.
Especially because it's so close by. I'm not really sure how popular it is. I don't know if popular is the right word, but how talked about it is outside of Mississippi. It's kind of hard for me to
I have
gauge.
not seen it on the national news.
No, not much coverage at all. This is definitely of significant local attention, but outside of that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. There has been, like, DAM has done some stories on it. Mississippi Today did a nice story on it. Anything else our students are talking about?
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk remains.
Yeah,
really?
still Charlie Kirk.
Okay. So how are our students processing this? Where are we now as a campus with this?
Oh, wait. Piggybacking off of Charlie Kirk specifically, Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, yeah, right? Okay,
I would
so.
much prefer to talk about Jimmy
Okay,
Kimmel. Let's
so-
just not even give Charlie Kirk the time of day.
Okay, so there you go. So, okay, actually, this is kind of where I wanted to take us. So, in the headlines for really the last 5-7 days, there's been a whole country. So let me just kind of throw some headlines at you. So, this was a story on pretty much every outlet you want. Trump tells press gaggle broadcast licenses should be pulled from networks that criticize him. Did you guys catch this?
Yeah.
So that's one headline. And
That's
inside,
authoritarianism. I'm just going to put
you're
that
gonna
out
jump
there.
that out there. Okay,
authoritarianism
well,
when the Associated
well,
Press
okay.
couldn't
Well,
cover
you
the
guys
events,
jumped
too.
over all the other headlines. So there's Inside Higher Ed. At least 8 faculty and staff members have been fired or suspended for comments they made in response to the death of Turning Point USA founder and conservative Charlie Kirk. Now, here's the interesting one from the New York Times. Fox host apologizes for suggesting lethal injections for mentally ill homeless people.
Yeah.
I missed that.
No, it's really concerning right now because, like, selfishly,
And he didn't lose his job, but Jimmy Kimmel did.
Correct. That's
Okay.
where I was heading.
Just checking.
No, yeah, because, like, selfishly, as a queer person myself, like, this just dehumanization of, like, just trans people everywhere, but it's, like, larger than that is queer people. It's like every time there's this cynical opportunity to restrict rights from people, it seems like they've been taking it, and they're going to keep taking it. Because, like, even right now, Michigan just drafted up a bill to ban all, like, obscene material, and then it's like, as an addendum to that, they said they're going to ban any depictions of being trans online. And that would make you listed as an offender on the registry.
That's also authoritarianism.
Yeah, like, it's stuff like this that brings me back to, like, the empathy point of, like, how does that not break your heart, I guess?
It does. Well, so what do we think? So you said immediately authoritarianism. Authoritarianism?
Well, censorship of the media because it criticizes you is very authoritarian.
It is.
And that's what we've seen time and time again. And people are like, oh, it's not like he's directly stepping in and being like, hey, you can't do this. But he's using the FCC to get shows taken off of air that criticize him. And that's suppression of free speech. That's literally what it is. And this is the crowd that cares so much about free speech that it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I also just wanted to make a comment about, I don't know, in 2016, Trump was real sassy about Kim Jong-un and his authoritarianism and all of his stuff. And then it's like he took pages out of his playbook. He took pages out of Putin's and Kim Jong-un's playbook and then criticizes them both. And it's very confusing. Because
I'm doing a lot of sighing today. Yeah. Well, I think, so this idea of, if we're going to keep going, I think, did we go through a break? You want us to keep going? Okay, you can. She said, we can. Dr. Hale, we can. So there's some freedom in the studio.
You're in charge.
I'm in charge. Gosh darn, I'm in charge. Gosh darn it. So I think that this idea of intense hypocrisy, ongoing cruelty, has to be an issue.
Yes.
Well, yes.
I mean, so coming back to the Jimmy Kimmel situation, right? The idea that the FCC commissioner would say, hey, this is not okay, and it's time to start doing some stuff to you, ABC. Like that? Hold on. Let's pause for a second. Like that's not how this is supposed to work. That's not the goal. That is not what the FCC is supposed to do. But it is what the FCC is supposed to do if it's underneath of a powerful authoritarian figure.
Yeah.
Then that would be a great role for the FCC. And so seeing that happening it's just another thing. It feels like every week we talk about these things, and it's yet another thing where we go,
moving.
Why does it keep... It's not even... Oh, my goodness. I was going to say the goalpost is moving. It's not even the goalpost is moving. The goalpost just slides on ice. It's just constantly moving. And that's so dangerous. So dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is it's part of the strategy. I forget which person in the administration it is. I think it might be Bannon or Banner. I forget their last name. But I think the term was like the shock doctrine. You just overload the media by doing as much as possible, as fast as possible. And people who aren't as in tune with the news can't keep up.
Yep.
So it means the permission structures keep getting changed, like you said.
Yeah. And what aren't we talking about?
The Epstein files.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that Trump said that any Republican that votes in favor of releasing the Epstein files will be seen as an aggressor towards his administration. What does that mean? Like, what do you mean?
Which is a very normal thing for someone who's not involved with Jeffrey Epstein to say, just by the way.
I'm actually not guilty at all, but if you want to look at the evidence, then you're being mean to me.
Yeah. I know you're just kind of hanging out over there.
I think there's a lot to unpack, and I don't know that I necessarily I don't have the answers, and I feel like that's the issue is that no one has the answer to solve kind of the problems that we're all facing right now.
I do.
Yeah, well, the idea of not having answers is because this is unprecedented territory.
It really is.
It really genuinely is unprecedented, and people have tried to diminish and be like, oh, it's not what you say it is, you're being exaggerative or whatever. No, this is genuinely unprecedented.
It really is, and I do have the answers.
Yeah, well, the issues I think that we're facing kind of in my world right now is the whole funding crisis.
Exactly.
With NSF, NIH.
And here's the answer. Here's the answer to all of the above. Everybody with me? You hanging on, Dr. Hale?
No.
Here's the answer. Congress needs to grow a spine and do its job.
Yes, 100%. I mean, that's exactly what Congress is supposed to do.
Exactly.
And we have seen that this particular Congress is acquiescing to anything that
the
the executive wants.
Yeah, no, they're trying to anticipate what Trump wants.
Mm-hmm. And exactly. That's even a step further than acquiescing.
Yeah.
It's also kind of assuming this is what is required of me, and so I'm going to go ahead and let it happen.
Yeah, and here's what should really give us chills as human beings and citizens, alleged citizens of this, is the Supreme Court appears to be doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Trump spent the last 2 years of his presidency getting rid of everyone who didn't agree with him on his first presidency, that it didn't agree with him on the Supreme Court, and refilling them because he knew that he would be back.
He didn't get rid of them. Now he didn't get. Now what he did, because you can't get rid of. Even Trump can't get rid of a sitting Supreme Court.
Yeah.
We think. Yeah.
He just packed the courts.
I was gonna
But
say.
what he did pack the courts.
After RBG died, he packed the courts.
He did pack the courts with far right folks. No question about that. Yeah. Okay. So, wow. I do think we're gonna. Is there anything else that we need to talk about?
Many things, but that would take an hours long
Okay.
show.
Well, I think this is where we usually end up. I do want to do so. Let's take this a completely different direction and end on a little bit of a less. We're all gonna die note.
Are we talking about K-pop demon hunters?
Now, technically, we promised that last week. We've not.
And we have yet to
yes.
Now, nobody cares about promises.
Well,
we don't like science, we don't like data, and we don't like promises.
You know what?
I'm on the fence on vaccines. So here's a headline for our students. This is from the New York Times. Tuition, $9,400. Dorm room interior designer, $10,000. So this was a story in the New York Times where students across the country are hiring interior designers to do their dorm rooms.
Oh.
What are we thinking here? How are we feeling about that? Now, have any of you guys hired a designer?
No, I don't need one.
I own a house.
Your
and
dorm
I
is
don't
so
need
cute. I've seen pictures. Just get Lily to do it for free.
I would not do it for free.
You won't do it for free?
Oh,
you would charge? How much would you charge?
$10,000, then I'm charging $10,000.
That's the going rate.
That's the market rate. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so we're nobody in here
I've
anyway.
never heard of that in my whole life either.
Yeah,
I saw it.
it's-
I saw it a little bit at Ole Miss. I was there
Really?
for a semester.
Really?
I'm sure
Yeah.
you did see it. At
I'm sure at Ole Miss that makes sense.
Yeah, those dudes up in Ole Miss.
We love Ole Miss
No,
around
no,
here.
we do love Ole Miss.
They're great
We
partners
just know
in the
that
state of
Ole Miss is
Mississippi.
lovely and they have a lot of money.
That's yeah.
That's
I
definitely
don't know.
something I can. That you said that I'm like that's not surprising.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway,
if people got the money for it,
Hey.
sure,
Yeah, sure,
get
why
an
not?
interior designer for your dorm.
hey Liam, we're gonna end this now. So I'm giving our engineer a heads up. We blew right through a break, which we hardly ever do. But what a great discussion! Thank you all very much, as usual. Fascinating show. This has been a production of Southern Miss Student Media. Our producers are Annabelle Laird and Lily Berghardt. Our video producer is Isabella Michaud, and our engineer is Liam Keenan. Thanks everybody for all your hard work, and we will be back next week.
Yes.
This has been News You Need with Dr. Ed Simpson. News You Need airs Friday afternoon at 12:30 on Southern Miss Radio.